absolutely lucked out. Our first find was a set of Sherman earrings. They are not Aurora Borealis, but hey, Sherman is Sherman, and we will take Sherman all day long. Now we're heading to the Bone China. Let's see if we get lucky. Oh, I do see some teacups. I see some teacups, sadly. Some pieces have no... I see an American Beauty, for example. I see an Ainsley that has no saucer. This is a Queen Anne. I'd like it to be a little bit prettier. Oh, look at this piece. Are we lucky today? It's a Rosina. Look at this. Now this might be something. Oh, it's Royal Tuscan. It's awful pretty though. And a Sutherland. But look at this. Shelley. We've got one more piece back here. Oh, it's a Royal Veil, but you know what? That is such a special piece with that big rose. We're gonna take it. Well, here's an essential part of any party table, and that is the crystal section. Crystal and glass. What have we got up here? Oh, exquisite. I'm not seeing any chips either. Look at the details on that. That might go in the cart. We want to check out one more section before we leave the store, and that is the jewelry section. It's the random jewelry. Pearl necklaces are a thing right now, and this is actually freshwater pearl, but it's stretched, sadly. And I'm really not seeing a lot today, which is kind of sad. It's a modern piece. Looks like we're fresh out of luck today. Well, here we are. We want to discuss our haul. Now, we didn't do too bad at our trip to the Goodwill. Sometimes you go and, of course, you come up completely empty-handed, but we actually made a couple of very good finds, and we want to discuss them here. So, first things first, we discovered, oh boy, if that's how this video is going to go, we're off to a bad start. We discovered a Shelley teacup. Now, Shelley teacups are special. Shelley is more famous for its chintz patterns. That is, those very busy, sometimes floral patterns that you will see on a teacup. Shelley is very famous for its oleander pattern. And Shelley collectors are a special niche of collectors. And sometimes they are collectors that will collect nothing but Shelley. Now Shelley has a wide variety of teacups. They don't just do chintz. And this teacup that we found today, Scylla, it's called, I discovered that there was a name on the back of it, is an example of one of their teacups that is not chintz. Now this teacup does not sell real high. It can sell anywhere between $30 to $55, and maybe depending on the condition of the teacup. And it's very pretty. It has beautiful pale pink detailing on the handle and a little pale pink stripe around the bottom, and of course pale pink on the edge of the saucer. Now, I want to show you how we find out whether or not a teacup is in good shape, because there are details. You don't just go, oh, wow, a teacup, because China is famous for being damaged. These are vintage pieces most of the time, and they have been sometimes through a lot. So the first thing you want to do is find out if it has a crack, and you do this by pinging the teacup. You hold it lightly in your fingers and you tap the edge. If you hear a nice ring like a bell, you can generally rest assured that that teacup is structurally sound and does not have a crack. Now sometimes you can be fooled. It can have a crack and it can still ring. I have a couple of teacups like that, actually. I got fooled. But in this case, you can pretty well rest assured the inside is snow white, and I see nothing to indicate that there would be a sneaky little hairline crack. And the other thing that you want to do is run your finger around the edge always to make sure there are no hidden chips. Your finger will pick up on it pretty quickly if there's a chip. And you want to do the same around the heel of the cup as well, because chips love to hide right in that area. The other thing you want to do, and this is something that rarely can be spotted on a camera, and can rarely be spotted in a secondhand store with bad lighting, is look for crazing. And you often find crazing around the handle of the cup or on the foot of the cup. So around the handle and around the foot is very common to see crazing. You'll find it other places too, but those are key areas to look. Crazing is like a dirty crackling under the glaze of the cup. It looks like fine spider webbing. And if you get crazing on a bone china cup, that usually means that that cup is valueless. It has to be one very special cup for it to have any value with crazing on it. Crazing, and it's done. It's done. It is finished. But this cup is in good shape. Now, if it had gold on it, like the next cup, the other thing you would have to look for is gold wear. But this has no gold, so we don't have to worry about it in this case. There's also no staining. I suspect this cup has been barely ever used. Probably was something closer akin to what we would call a cabinet piece. It sat in a cabinet and looked pretty. All right, and that brings us to our next cup. Now, this cup is a royal veil. I almost never buy Kolkoff or royal veil, or I think there's, what is it, Royal Trent. I almost never buy certain brands of cups because they're just lesser quality. And you can feel that this is a lesser quality. It's heavier and you want daintier when it comes to bone china. But this has such a smashing red rose on it that it will do very well for my business, my Timeless Tea Parties business. And so I purchased it. Now, you don't have to worry about gold wear loss on this teacup because this thing has gold. Woo! And that is definitely a plus. And this cup rings too. Maybe royal veil, but she still rings. And by the way, you can do the same with the saucer. That rings. You can do the same with the saucer as you do with the cup. You need to make sure neither has a crack in it. And again, you do the same stunt as you do with the Shelly to make sure there's no chips. Now, I made a discovery with this one. Do you see that little bump there? That almost looks like a chip, but it is not. It is a manufacturer's flaw. It's a manufacturer's flaw. What they did is they made a mistake when they re-ated it, and then they just painted it over it with liquid gold. And it was sneaky of them. So this cup, even if it was a brand that was good, would not sell well among collectors because nobody likes manufacturer's flaws. But anyhow, it is just a royal veil, and it is simply going into my collection of rental china, and it will do nicely for that. Nobody's going to turn their nose up at having tea out of a cup that looks like this. Trust me on that one. And again, no crazing, no staining. We're in good shape. So there's that. Now, at the very beginning, I made a discovery in my trip to the Goodwill that I could not record. I just showed you a little picture, a little hint of what I found. I couldn't record because it would have involved recording an employee of the store, and that wouldn't have gone over well, legally speaking. But we discovered Sherman. We discovered Sherman jewelry. And if you ladies like vintage glam, well, we found some signed Sherman jewelry, and we are pretty tickled about it. Pretty tickled about it. They are absolutely stunning. They have that absolutely fantastic heft that Sherman was famous for. Quality, 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 and just beautiful. I would suggest these would make great pieces for a New Year's party or whatever it is that needs some sparkle. As I say, I'll take Sherman all day long. It may not be Aurora Borealis, it may not be pink, blue, or fuchsia, or peridot, but we'll take Sherman. And this is going to be for sale. I'm also selling the Shelly cup if anybody wants it. And you can find me on my eBay store. And you can also reach out to me in my email if you would like to make a purchase of either of these two items. In the video, I did put a crystal goblet in my cart, and I wound up putting it back because I had thought there was two of them. There was two side by side, and I thought, oh, there's two, I'll buy them. I don't buy individual goblets. I always buy in pairs because it's necessary when setting up a tablescape that I have at least two items of the same thing. And I don't buy individually because it just throws the table all out of balance. So yeah, if you are wondering what I'm talking about, go watch some of my other videos where I create tablescapes. But anyhow, that is our purchases. And again, if you're interested in making a purchase, please reach out to me or check out my eBay store. Thank you for watching, and till we have another adventure, this is Michelle signing off.